I'm very confused right now. Is it working though? It doesn't look like it's working. What is going on? What is going on with that? We may have a poor connection today, guys. How's everybody doing? Happy Thursday. Happy Thirsty Thursday. I hope everybody is out there and you got your drinks in hand. But we're not worried about alcoholic beverages, guys. You got to make sure that you're... Oops. Hey, at least we know we're going live on there. We're live on Twitch. We're live on D Live. We're live on Facebook. We're live on Twitter. We're live on YouTube. We are live, babies. We are live, my beautiful babies. And thank you so much, Laura, for liking the stream. Thank you, Laura, for sharing the stream. And thank you, Lori, for liking the stream as well. But I love it, and I appreciate you guys' support more than anything, obviously, because we wouldn't be here without you. We wouldn't be here without you, and that's just part of the game, guys. That's part of the game. Let me finish up sharing these to where I was going to share them to. There we go. Boom. Good deal. But it looks like we're doing pretty good today, guys. Doing pretty good. Pretty solid. Nothing really much going on. It's a kind of a little more laid back day. As you will say, as I would say, as anybody would say. But Laura said, I liked, shared, and all that happy stuff. Thank you, Laura. All that happy stuff definitely makes me happy. Lori, hi, not home, but I'll watch later. Yes, we'll see you later. I know it's a little bit of an earlier show today, but I had to get it done earlier because I wanted to work a little bit later tonight. And thank you, Rick, for liking the stream page, whatever it is. Thank you so much for liking it. You guys know I look for this every single day. Well, every single day when we're on. What is up, Michigan girl? How are you? Happy Thursday. Happy Thirsty Thursday, guys. Happy Thirsty Thursday. And I'm having a little bit of wine today to enjoy the Thirsty Thursday. All right, so I was talking to one of my friends a couple weeks ago, and he was talking about what are you talking about, Marie? IG's messing up? I know, IG is messing up. What's up, guys, over there on IG? I hope that, hey, you know, that's the Jordane show. Sometimes it's going to, it's not going to work on Facebook. You got to jump onto YouTube. Sometimes it's not going to work on YouTube. You got to jump on Instagram. Usually Instagram is the one, that's like the one that always works. That's the most solid one. So it sucks that Instagram is messing up. But I did notice that today. It was definitely messing up for me. And I was trying. It looks like we're back up though, so I think that we should be good on Instagram. But what are you gonna do, guys? Like, as long as I get this baby pushed out somewhere, and then I can just put the I'll put the replay on YouTube, and you guys could always go back to the archives. I have over 100 episodes on the archives of YouTube, but those archives will be being moved on over to my website, so that we can have our old episodes over there on the website, so we can just try to draw people over to the website a little bit. But you know how that is. That's how it goes. Had a pretty solid day today. I slept in a lot more than I was planning on, but that's just part of the game. Barry Jones, guess who's back? Barry Mother Effin' Jones. Barry and Mother Effin' Jones up in the house. Thank you, Barry, for joining. And thank you guys for joining us for the Just Jordane show. Now, like I was saying, so I think that a lot of what we're going through as a people in our modern times, and we have all this internet, we have all this stuff that we have to deal with every day. Every day we have to deal with all these things. And a lot of times you have your own thoughts in your head, and then thank you so much, Barry Jones, for liking the page. Thank you, Barry Jones. Barry Jones out there giving us that support. And guys, if you can do that on YouTube, it's highly appreciated, because I do love getting our love over on YouTube, even though sometimes the YouTube stuff doesn't show up until later, but it's all good. Cannot be mad about that. Got to be happy. But Barry Jones is back up in here. Thank you so much, Barry Jones, for joining us. I'm so glad to have you. We got our regulars back. We got our regulars here ready to rock and roll. Now, I have the story. So and you know, we always go in the little philosophical rant where we can always kind of draw it back into the way that we're living and things that can help us get through our days better, faster, and stronger in any other way. So I was talking to one of my friends, and he was talking about when he was growing up. Majority of the time when he was younger, he would listen to his friends, and he'd be hanging out with his friends. Stephen Fowler has liked it. Thank you so much, Stephen Fowler. I love the support. You guys are just coming out in droves with all that support. Let's get some more subscriptions on that shit too. Go on and click that subscribe button, guys. We need to get some more subscriptions going now. Shit, keep that baby going now that I'm starting to get in the hang of actually doing a show and everything. So now we can start pushing it out and really marketing this baby out to as many people as we can, because you know, that's just what we're trying to do. We got the show here. Jordane rocks. Thank you, Stephen Fowler. I appreciate that, brother. Thank you so much. But we're having a little bit more of a serious conversation today. And, you know, most of the time we have serious conversations. Sometimes we have bullshit conversations. Sometimes we have fun conversations. But this one I really wanted to do because I feel like it has a lot to do with how we are nowadays in the modern world, in the today's market, or today's world. So my friend and I were talking, and he said that he was hanging out with his friends when he was younger, but whenever he was younger, he had this duality battle. He had this inner brain thought process going on where it's almost like the angel and the devil on each of your shoulders. So he would be hanging out with some friends, and they would be doing some unscrupulous activities, maybe breaking into the neighbor's yard, or even passing through the neighbor's yard, or breaking into places and trying to steal stuff from people. And there are a lot of people, and I don't judge people from things that they've done in their past, because we all are trying to learn, and we're all trying to figure out exactly how we can get on about this life. But this guy was hanging out with all of his friends, doing all the bad stuff. But he always told me that while they were doing the bad stuff, he thought in his head that he shouldn't be doing it. But he's only doing it because he wanted to keep his friends happy. And he wanted to make sure that his friends were impressed. He wanted to impress his friends. And whenever you're young and you're it's a little bit easier for you to want to follow your friends, especially because you don't really have any other friends, and these are your only friends, so you kind of have to play the game that your friends are playing. That kind of sucks. That's one of those things where you're not being yourself. You're not being real with yourself, and you're not being who you are, but you're spending all this time getting yourself into a worse situation than you could have been. But had you just listened to your own mind and listened to yourself, then it would have been all gravy. Or at least you wouldn't have been in trouble for that, for whatever it is that you got in trouble for. And I try to make sure that, there's some niche stories that I gather, but I try to make it to where we all have these, we can relate. We can relate to these positions, and we can relate to these circumstances, because we're just human. We are social animals, and we are trying to make sure that, look, there's billionaires who get sad because people make fun of them, even though they're billionaires, and you would think that everything would be figured out. But no, life has to go on. You still have to deal with people, and there's still going to be people who don't like you, who don't want to be around you, who don't want to deal with you. But what do you do whenever you're dealing with that? You do not let that come under you don't let that affect you so much negatively, because you want to keep that positive mental attitude. That's the toughest thing to do. But if you're a billionaire, and it's like, yeah, you think that you could just sit back and be like, oh, I have $1 billion, I'm fine, I don't need anybody. But really, we are humans, and we are these social creatures, and we do require some, that's why whenever they're in prison, if you're in prison, one of the biggest tortures that they can do to somebody is solitary confinement. They will lock you away, sensory deprivation from social activities, just being able to socialize with another human being. You're literally stuck in your head in the dark for 7 days a week, however long they put them in the hole for. And that's a crazy thing to think about now, because that sensory deprivation on top of the social deprivation is torturous. And it's hard to imagine that somebody would get better coming out of that. It's hard to imagine that that would make them less likely to commit crimes because they were tortured. So if you're tortured, I would think you're probably more likely to commit crimes. You're probably more likely to have a screw loose. You're probably more likely to have these negative effects come onto you, especially in the longer period of time. So we have to try to stick true to ourselves. That's the biggest challenge at hand. Barry Jones said, peer pressure will get you in a bunch of shit. Peer pressure will get you in a bunch of shit. Now, there are good peer pressure. There is bad peer pressure. There is good peer pressure when you say that you're playing a sport, you're playing baseball, and you're nervous about going to hit. Well, the peer pressure that your friends will give you is, hey, man, I went in there and I did it. You can do it too. So what if you get hit? You're not going to die. Just go in there and do it. Just go in there and do it. See if you can go in there and get it. Get it done, man. That's good peer pressure. You do want peer pressure. Peer pressure is a necessary thing. That's how people do great things, because they have that peer pressure group behind them saying, hey, man, this would be fucking awesome if you did. This would be awesome if you did. No pressure, but probably a lot of pressure, because you do have a lot of pressure when it comes to that type of stuff. But it's funny that that's how it goes, that we are pushed or not pushed from the motivations of others. And a lot of the things that we do as people, because we can't go throughout time and we can't go throughout our lives without dealing with people. Even if you're one of the most introverted types of persons, you're still going to have to get a job doing some type of a service for somebody. So we always have to deal with people, and there's always these different pressures coming from different angles, coming from different people. And we have to distinguish whether it's good peer pressure or bad peer pressure. And that's the complicated thing, because sometimes good peer pressure feels like it's bad peer pressure because they want you to perform a task that you don't believe that you could possibly do, but you actually probably could do it, but you needed that little bit of encouragement. It's like seeing a drunk guy trying to climb a flagpole. And it's like, I want to see a drunk guy climb a flagpole. Don't you want to see a drunk guy climb a flagpole? I think that would be awesome. So our peer pressure is like, yeah, do it, climb it, climb it. I want to see you fall. I want blood. I want blood. I just want blood. I just want to see him fall and hit his head. Fall and hit your head, bro. Don't crack your skull open, though, because that would be gross. But the peer pressure there is motivating him to do something that the group would be excited about, that everybody would be excited about. Everybody would be like, ah, yeah, he did it. Even though it's for stupid reasons, even though there's not even a good reason for you to even do that. That's just peer pressure. That's just humans. That's how we interact with each other. That's how we motivate each other. That's how we demotivate each other. That's how we punish each other. That's all of that wrapped into one. So peer pressure will get you in a bunch of shit, but it'll also get you to be as successful as you can. So we have to distinguish the good peer pressure and the bad peer pressure. And this bad peer pressure that I was talking to my friend about, when he was saying that every time he would go out with his friends and they would start getting into some hood rat shit, I just want to go out and do hood rat shit with my friends. Anytime they would go out and get in trouble, he, in his mind, in the back of his mind, was like, man, I shouldn't be here. I don't want to deal with this. I shouldn't be here. I shouldn't be doing this. You have to listen to yourself. You have to listen to yourself. Because at that point, you're not going to be happy with yourself if you just stick with that. Maybe you will. Maybe you will. You know, there's a spectrum to everything. You never actually understand. But you have to be able to distinguish whether this is going to have a positive or negative effect on myself. Now, if you're a drunk guy climbing a flagpole, you're way less likely to make a rational, smart decision about the situation, because you're already drunk and you're already feeling good. You're already excited. You got your buzz going. Now you got the crowd hyping you up. You're going to do some crazy shit. Because people love seeing crazy shit. People love seeing that shit. People love seeing, like, a slight rebellion. Slight rebellion. I was at a Ravens game a few years back, and there was a guy who was drunk as hell. He was drunk as hell. He was having fun. He wasn't like being rude to anybody, but he was just being rude in general because he was loud and boisterous. He didn't talk shit to anybody. He was talking shit about the teams and stuff, but there was a security guy who was like, hey, you got to go. You got to go. And he was like, well, let me finish my beer first. Let me finish my beer first. And they were like, no, we're not waiting. We're not going to wait for anything. Get your ass out of here. Get your ass out of here right now. We got to get you out of here because you're causing a scene, and we don't feel like dealing with a scene from you because now you're going to spread that all the way around to everybody else because peer pressure. This guy still refused his drink and refused to pour out his drink. And so he stood up and he still had the drink in his hand. And as he started walking up the stairs, he started looking around, kind of riling up the crowd. As a wrestler, I know how you rile up the crowd. He's kind of riling up the crowd, and then he gulps. He just takes a big old giant shot of his drink. I mean, I guess he gulped it. He shot it. He whatever they do whenever they shotgun it or whatever. He drank that shit fast, and then of course the security tried to stop him, but it was too late. He drank it, and they were like, the security was annoyed with him. But when he drank that drink, the peer pressure from the crowd who started paying attention to what it was, everybody was cheering him. Everybody. He was leaving with his arms raised, even though he got kicked out of a Ravens game for being too drunk. He got kicked out of a Ravens game for being too drunk, but he left a legend because everybody was like, yeah, I love that guy. He's just out there. He's drunk and shit, but hey, that's a fun guy. He's a fun person. He came off like a pretty fun person. He was a pretty cool guy. He was a pretty fun person. So it was very funny because I was just watching that thinking, wow, man, like, wow, that could have been bad. He could have just been fighting security or whatever, but it was all in good fun, and the security guy didn't lose his temper. Neither of them lose their temper. They kind of kept it at the light spirits because all these things can always go. It can go bad fast. But luckily, that one didn't go bad fast. That one was he was just riling up the crowd, and the crowd was riling him up, and he was like, oh, hell yeah, I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to keep doing it. But I love the fact, cutting back to where my friend was when he was talking about how he would make his decisions when he was younger dealing with peer pressure. And when he was a lot younger originally, he would deal with peer pressure, and he would just spend more time trying to make people happy instead of listening to his inner voice. Because anytime he would try to make these other people happy, he had an inner voice that was telling him what to do, but he wasn't listening to it. Until finally one day, he was just like, you know what, man, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to do things that I don't want to do. I don't want to feel like I'm being pressured into doing something that I don't want to do. I don't want to have to deal with that type of stuff, so I'm going to start listening to my head. I'm going to start listening to my brain. I'm going to do whatever it is my decision is. So if I'm hanging out with my peer group and they want to peer pressure me into something, I'm not going to let their decision trump mine. I don't want them to make my decision for me. Because in my past, I've spent a lot of time, and I personally have spent a lot of time dealing with people who are trying to get either something out of you or to just convince you to do something that's not best for you. Even though they're all in and it's fine for them, it still might not be a good thing for you. Because what's good for others it's not always good for you. What's up, guys, over there on IG? Sorry, I haven't been paying too much attention. We've been telling some stories over here. What's up, Fleck Corey? How you doing? Allison has joined the chat. What is up, Allison? I'm glad that you've joined us. I know we're a little bit early today, but y'all know how it is. Sometimes I got things I got to do. Sometimes I got things I got to do. But the peer pressure is tough because then whenever he started making his own decisions for himself and he wasn't trying to impress anybody and he wasn't trying to get into this cool group over here or this cool group over there, he started listening to himself and he was way less stressed, way less bullshit that he had to listen to. Now, here's the other side of it though, because now those friends that he had, his friends who were in his peer group, who were peer pressuring him to do things that he did not want to do, Now, how do you think those friends are going to feel whenever he makes a slight decision not to follow? When he makes his own decision, how do you think they're going to react? They're going to think that maybe what is up with this guy? He was cool. Everything was cool until just now. What changed, man? What changed, man? Nothing changed. You just started listening to yourself. And that was what he told me. And that was a quote that stuck into my head. I didn't even write it down. I wrote it down now. But I didn't even write it down whenever he first told it to me. But I didn't have to because I just remembered it. Because he was telling me, he was like, look, man, these people got mad at me because I changed. And they told me that I changed. But I didn't change. I just started listening to myself on the inside. I didn't change. He didn't change. He is who he is. He's just making better decisions now. How do you explain that? How do you push that towards your friends and be like, yes, I know you're trying to pressure me into this situation, but I don't feel comfortable for it. And for my own mental health, probably more so for my mental health, I don't think that I should be doing this. I don't think that I should break in through the neighbor's yard. I can go around. I don't need to do this stuff. Now I'm risking getting myself in trouble when it's absolutely unnecessary. And that's a tough thing to face your peer group, your friends, and tell them that you're not going to act like them anymore. You're not going to be doing what the normal activities that we all do is. That's very hard. And Barry Jones said they weren't real friends to begin with. Right. But if those are your only friends, think of how hard that is. Sure, you can tell yourself that they weren't real friends, but now you're alone. And that's the tough part. Now you're alone, and now you don't have that. Now you don't have your peer group. Now you don't have your friends. Now you don't have everything that you thought you had. Now you're alone. And nobody likes being alone. No, everybody, like, we all want to try to push ourselves to the best of our abilities, and that's what this show is. This show is way more of a self-betterment type show, with some jokes and some laughs in between, and hopefully we can get down to some stuff to where we can intellectually explain to each other and help each other get through our days. And like I said, that peer pressure stuff, man, that peer pressure stuff is huge, because he was like, I didn't change. I just stopped listening to you and started listening to me. He made his own decisions. You made your own. If you make your own decisions, you have to be happy with that. And if anybody else is not happy with that, that's their problem. That's their problem. Too bad. Oh, you don't like me? Too bad. Oh, you don't like how I talk? Too bad. Sometimes people aren't going to like me. Okay. What am I going to do? Lose sleep over it? No, there's billions of people in the world. 340 million, probably 350 million in America. Go find somebody who connects with you. That's better. Don't be around people who are going to put you in a situation that already gives you anxiety. It already makes you feel like you shouldn't be there. So if it's already stressing you out, get the hell out of there. Don't be around people like that. Don't be around people who make you have to have an internal battle with your brain. It shouldn't be something like that. That's not a friendship. That's not how you hang out with people. You're not forcing yourself to go over there and say, oh, I gotta go over here and see this friend, but they always want to party, or they always want to go out. They always want to try to do some trifling dumb shit that I don't want to deal with. Then don't deal with it. Don't deal with it. You got to keep yourself happy. And that's hard, because you're not going to be happy every day. Happiness is a fleeting emotion, just like every fucking thing else. It's all fleeting. And if you're always happy, then it gets boring. Then you don't want to be happy anymore. You want to experience something a little different. So happiness is hard to come by, though. I think that happiness is a great thing for us to be chasing, but I don't think it's the most realistic goal. Because you can just wake up tomorrow and not feel good and then not be happy. And then you're just not happy. Oh, I didn't accomplish my goal. I wasn't happy today. Sometimes you ain't happy. But we got to know, and we got to figure out how we can manage ourselves and manage our emotions to get through the day to where we're not more stressed out and we're not like trying to clang and bang our heads against the wall because I got all these things that you have to situate, that you have to think about, and it's just not working. That's the tough part. And it's way more tough when you're alone. It's way more tough. Because you're way less likely to stick up for yourself and way more likely to do whatever the in-group tells you to do because that's what they're doing, and I feel like I need to be part of that because you do, because we are humans, and you do need to be part of some type of a social group, but hopefully you can figure out how to get yourself into that. And maybe you're super introverted and you don't need it, or maybe you play video games. Even that's still socializing, though, because people play online, but maybe they don't play online. Maybe they just play it and that's just what they do. They just do some play-alongs or whatever. Whatever the case may be, you know. There is always a spectrum on this. So, like, everything that we talk about is never set solid in stone perfectly for everybody. But if we can point each other somewhat, so like your destination is right here. We got a destination right here. And we're heading off towards that direction, but we're kind of off a little bit. But we're still heading somewhat in that direction. If we can give each other that little bump in the right direction as we're going, because we were going off course, but now we're giving each other a little bump, and now we're heading towards that course. And that course, that goal that we're reaching is you to be a fulfilled person. Fulfilled person is not a happy person. A fulfilled person is somebody who's happy with their life and the way that their life is going and the way that their life has been going. You don't have to be happy about your past, but you can definitely do something about your future, because you can't do anything about your past. You can't go back and fix it. So what are you going to do? You're going to make yourself better. Make yourself better. But surround yourself around people who are making themselves better and in effect make you better in the long run as well. If you surround yourself with people who are trying to make themselves better in whatever field you're participating in, you're going to get better. If you get yourself, like in wrestling, if you put yourself around a lot of wrestlers who are a lot better than you, you have to upgrade yourself. You have to adapt, and you have to get better. If not, you're going to fail. And then if you fail, then you move on. Then it is what it is. You never actually fail, though. You just learn. You just learn. Yeah, sure, you lose. You lose games. You still learned. Maybe you'll never get that opportunity again, and you did, kind of sucked it out, but shit happens. There's always something to learn from it. What is up, Allison? How are you over there on the IG? Michigan Girl said, I totally agree with you. Thank you, Michigan Girl. I hope that we have some good messages here where we're trying to share it and trying to push each other where we're going to be better in the future for each other anyway. I mean, that's like half the battle anyways. We're trying to make everything a little bit easier to deal with so that we all can get through our lives a little bit easier and make it all work. I just love that story though, man, or that story though, man, because he was messed up about it, because he was like, man, these people tell me that I've changed, but I haven't changed. I just started listening to myself. That's huge, man. That's huge. Listen to yourself, guys. Listen to yourself. Listen to yourself. Like, people can be in denial, but you're less likely to lie to yourself. You're going to be more real with yourself. I would hope anyway. Maybe not always. Maybe not always. Sometimes we can definitely be delusional in our thought processes. That's for sure. Humans aren't rational. We try to be rational, but we're definitely not rational. That's for sure. Always trying to get ourselves better. Always trying to get ourselves better. And that was an interesting thing, too, because he was telling me, and this was during the same time, he was telling me that he was a big Buffalo Bills fan, which is, I guess that's Buffalo, New York. And he didn't grow up there. He grew up in Baltimore. But if you grow up in Baltimore, how do you become a fan of the Buffalo Bills? Well, he just picked them out when he was a kid, and his dad told him, hey, loyalty is everything. So if you pick this team, you got to stick with them. And that dude stuck with them up until he was 35 years old. And now he's about to turn 36. And I'm pretty sure he's still into the Buffalo Bills. But it was a cool story that he told me, because it was like, damn, dude, Loyalty is everything. Your dad told you when you were 6 or 7, loyalty is everything. And you stayed loyal to that damn team until you were a fucking adult. You got to give him that. Like, that right there is a loyal person, man. That is a loyal person. Barry Jones said, but you're not stressed out and probably keeping yourself out of jail. Right, that's the thing. You're probably keeping yourself out of jail. Yeah, most likely. Yeah, I mean, where I come from, yeah, you're keeping yourself out of jail if you don't follow your friends, because your friends they're going to do some stupid shit. That's just what it is. That's just what it is. That's who you grow up around. And it's not everybody's a fucking rocket scientist. They're not. Most people are just trying to get theirs, and they ain't worried about you. And that's why these friends, yeah, you got to be careful, because some of these friends don't have their best interest at heart, let alone yours. Let alone yours. Barry Jones, the cost of being nice to people is 0. If people would just grasp the concept. Yeah. Yeah, you got to be positive to each other. You have to support each other, and most people don't do that, but people get into their weird internal brain shit too, where they get jealous of people, they feel insecure about things. There's all these different types of problems and mental bumps in the road that we all have to try to get over without sounding or seeming like a head case. And I saw, did you guys see that video of, what's his name? The actor, Johnny Depp. Did y'all see Johnny Depp with his wine? He got like pissy and like threw his wine. And I thought it was cute. So we'll watch that real quick. But this will go into it. Let's see. All right. La 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 la. I don't know if I can find it, though. That's the thing. Maybe I'll be able to find it. We'll see here. We'll see here, guys. Be patient with me. Be patient with me. I'm trying. I'm trying. I'm dying. I'm dying. I'm trying. I'm dying. I'm trying. I'm dying. Let's see what we got. Let's see. Beer, beer, beer. There we go. Now. Ah, there it goes. Okay, cool. We did find it. So Johnny Depp got in trouble. I don't know if he got in trouble, but this is like an old video. But it's just funny because it's Johnny Depp, and I never seen this video, but I'll show you guys real quick, and then we'll talk about that a little bit, because it does seem like he's got a little bit of bullshit he's got to deal with there, man. He's not happy. He's not happy. He's walking around drunk as shit, not happy.
What happened?
But here's the horse shit about this whole situation. Like, homeboy is at his house, and she's secretly recording him and putting it on the internet. That, man, come on, dude. Come on, dude. Like, I know he's drunk and stuff, but, like, here's another situation where you have this weird peer pressure. And now you have Johnny Depp, who isn't really thinking about how, he looks or anything, because he's just going about his normal life. Maybe he's drunk, in the morning. Sometimes people get drunk in the morning. I'm not going to judge him for that. I kind of feel bad for the guy. But this girl is secretly recording him. So now, why would she secretly record him? She's trying to show everybody how much of a head case he is. And guy, we're all head cases. I don't get, when I see somebody having like a mental breakdown and they're just throwing shit and they're screaming, I'm like, yeah, me too. Me too. I want to scream and throw shit too. Yeah, that looks like it feels good. Does it feel good? I'm sure it feels good. Just absolutely losing their shit in public, and I'm with them. I'm with crazy. I'm with crazy. We want to calm the disturbed, but disturb the calm. You know, disturb the calm the disturbed, but disturb the calm. That's a great quote, by the way. Barry Jones, the cost of being nice to... No. Barry Jones said TMZ probably paid her good. Yeah. She probably made a good bit of money on it, too. Good bit of money on it. But this is another peer pressure thing because even though he's unaware of what's happening now, he's going to change the way that he acts in the future when he's interacting with her because now he has no idea if she has a secret camera put up somewhere and now now I just can't be real. I can't be real in my own house. Now I got to worry about what I'm saying because it might be broadcast to the fucking internet. That's some horse shit right there. Just because you can show two different people the same video and they're going to have two completely different interpretations out of it. And guess what? Neither side is wrong. See how fucked everything is? Nothing's that easy to figure out. Nothing is. Nothing's that easy to figure out. But let's see this billionaire with his problems. Or millionaire. Maybe he's not a billionaire. He doesn't strike me as the type. I guess he's just an actor, so maybe they're millionaires. Their money's capped.
Nothing happened this morning, you know that?
He is not happy at all. He is not happy at all. Oh my God.
No. So nothing happened to you this morning? Yeah, you're right. I just woke up and you were so sweet and nice. We're not even fighting this morning. All I did was say sorry. Did something happen to you this morning? I don't think so.
He just sounds like he had something. He just sounds like he had something bad happen to him. And, you know, Barry Jones, she wouldn't be back in my house. Biatch. Yeah, right? After that point, man, that's like, dude, like, come on. You can't even be real in your own damn house. If a drunk person says to you, do you want fucking crazy? I'll give you fucking crazy. Try to talk them out of it. Use your peer pressure to talk them out of it. Try to. Because she's using her peer pressure with the internet because now people are going to think they're going to have a completely different idea on what Johnny Depp is, who Johnny Depp is, because now he's a drunkard. Now he's throwing stuff around and now he's pissed off. How many? You've seen everybody do that. I've seen so many adults act like angry children because we're all just angry children. We're angry adults, but we're all angry children.
Oh, you're crazy.
He just noticed. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, wow. Look, there is 31,000 downvotes and 12. I think most people, yeah, and comments are turned off, of course. But, like, it looks like most people agree with us that this is a shit video. Like, she's a piece of shit. And... yeah, it just seems like she's a piece of shit. She's a piece of shit. I don't know. It doesn't look good. That stuff don't look good for her. Not even for Johnny Depp. Like, I don't even care about Johnny Depp. I don't even feel bad about Johnny Depp. I feel like more angry at her. I would feel like, oh no, she shouldn't be around. Like, that's some horrible shit. But she's trying to use her peer pressure to make him act right. And acting right is making her happy. It's doing whatever she wants. And I'm not saying it's a good idea to be drunk at freaking 9 a.m. in the morning. But sometimes people find themselves drunk at 9 a.m. in the morning. But he's like that, man. Like, Johnny Depp he's like that type of guy. He's that type of guy. Because he did the, what was that guy's name? What was that guy's name he did the movie about? The writer, the really good writer who like did like gonzo journalism. What was his name? Hunter S. Thompson. So like, you know, he hung out with Hunter. He was friends with Hunter S. Thompson. So they are debaucherous. They are degenerates. They do do a lot of partying and that, a bunch of drug experimentations and stuff like that. But hold on. I'm going to run to the bathroom real quick, and then we'll finish up our show here. But give me one sec, guys. I got to go IHTP, and then we're going to continue on, and we'll finish up so that I can get on and get up out of here. Give me a sec. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. What's up, y'all? Oh, shit. Shy has joined the chat. What is up, Shy? I haven't seen you in a while. How have you been, good old Shy? Shy is in the chat. Barry Jones. Who was the actor who got caught drunk and his daughter did all kind of stupid shit? I think that was David Hasselhoff. I think that was David Hasselhoff. Because his daughter was recording him being drunk and he was eating like a cheeseburger. He was eating like a cheeseburger, but like he could barely do it because he was so messed up. And she put that on the internet. Oh man, you just sold your dad out so bad. Don't sell your dad out like that. Like, he's got problems. But man, that sucks. That sucks for her because she's got to deal with like a drunkard, and I don't know their personal relationship. Maybe like that was the last straw, and she felt like she had to do something, and that was what she did. That kind of sucks though, because man, you would hope that it wasn't like that. You would hope, but that's just not how things go. That's really not how things go. Really changed my view of him. Yep, couldn't remember. Was it David Hasselhoff? I think it was David Hasselhoff. But it changed my view too, because I never knew that he was a drunkard like that. I had no idea. But a lot of people hide a lot of their vices. They hide a lot of their problems, a lot of their shit, because people are embarrassed because of peer pressure. Because they don't want people thinking that they are some kind of person who doesn't have their shit together. Oh no. What would the world be if people thought something of me? That's all it is. People think something of you, whether it's good or bad, but your motivation is to try to keep that peer group happy. So you want to try to keep them all happy, as happy as you possibly can. But that's the complicated thing, because it doesn't necessarily work like that in every situation. We talk about it all the time, where there's so much gray area. What's good and what is bad? What's normal? What's all this stuff? I mean, normal is very easy, because that's like what the majority of the people would do. So that what your normal thing is, oh, I'm driving to work. Well, that's normal. Most people drive to work, Unnormal or abnormal would probably be flying to work every day. That'd be very abnormal. I'm sure there's people out there who probably do it, maybe in Alaska or something, but seems like that'd be very expensive. Very expensive. But, that is what it is. Tiger Kang, guys. Tiger Kang. Have y'all heard about that? Tiger Kang has he has his own cryptocurrency now. Tiger Kang has cryptocurrency, guys, and he's going out there to try to make sure. I mean, he's not going out anywhere, really. He can't really move. But the Tiger King coin, baby. And this goes into the cryptocurrency that we were talking about a few months back with Dogecoin and Cardano and Bitcoin and Ethereum and those types of things. So now there's a gimmick where everybody in the world and everybody's doing everything trying to create some type of cryptocurrency. And Tiger King has his own cryptocurrency. And I will show you guys some of the links there. There's some Doge coins. There's some Tiger King, so it looks like there are ideas right now. But there's going to be a Tiger King cryptocurrency. Well, or there already is. Nationwide coins, Tiger King coin value. Here we go. Tiger King coin value ranked the 2,561st most valuable cryptocurrency in the world, which shows you how many cryptocurrencies there are. Tiger King coin is far from alone in being a token based on a meme and pop culture reference. Price index site CoinMarketCap lists close to 100 so-called meme tokens with a combined market cap of 33 billion. So it's horseshit, guys. It's horseshit. What is up? Oh, Laura has just joined us over there on I know I missed everything. No worries, Laura. Shy, hello everyone. Great to see you, Shy. Yeah, I started quite early today. We had to get on it. But that's part of the. Oh, thank you, Shy. Thank you so much, Shy, for doing that. That was awesome for you to click the like button over there on Facebook, and we could continue on. So now we'll finish up with Tiger King, Joe Exotic sentence vacated by appeals court. So now I watched a few of the Tiger King episodes. I think I watched like 2, 3, maybe 3. Maybe I was like 3 episodes in. But it looks like he may be out a lot earlier than what everybody was expecting. And I know everybody's looking forward to that.
Violations and a plot to kill Carol Baskin.
And now,
So I guess he's in prison. Let me see if I can find it on the thing, because yeah, Joe Exotic's sentence has been vacated, but he will remain behind bars as he waits resentencing. A judge for Oklahoma's 10th District Court has ordered the eccentric zookeeper, real name Joseph Maldonado Passage, to remain in prison until he is resentenced following 2019 conviction of murder for hire plot of animal activist Carol Baskin. ET confirms. So if he gets out, there's going to be way more Tiger King stuff, because that dude's famous as shit. And all he wanted to do was be famous as shit. But now look at him. Maldonado Passage was previously sentenced to in 2020 to serve 22 years in prison for a plot against Baskin, as well as other crimes, which included killing tigers to make room for more at this exotic animal park, because they needed kitten tigers, because you make more money with the kitten tigers than you do with the old tigers. So they would kill them. I do not doubt that whatsoever. I do not doubt that is what they did. Laura said, I watched that whole show and the updated shows on the interviews of people in the show, and Carol killed her husband. That seems to be what everybody says. Carol Baskin killed her husband. Carol, can't trust you, Carol. Can't trust you. But let's do the video real quick before we get too much deeper into it.
His first prison interview, Joe says he's counting on Carol to get him out.
Carol and Howard Baskin said that they would vow to help me get a pardon if I would support the Big Cat Safety Act. It is time for Carol and Howard to put up or shut the hell up, because I'm accepting their offer.
Yeah, not so fast, because there is still no love lost here. Joe Exotic broke his...
Yeah, but if she's willing to do it, he needs to make sure that he tries to keep her silly ass happy and get his ass out of jail. You know? You gotta keep your ass a little bit happy.
For the first time after Howard Baskin made this ultimatum to the Mirror, quote, if Joe were to come out and say, I would like to support passage of the Big Cat Public Safety Act, it might position him in a positive way for a pardon, and frankly, I might be willing to go and urge at least a reduction in his sentence.
The Big Cat Safety Act, the way it's written, is not going to help anybody except PETA and Carol Baskin. So, other than that, they need to stay the hell out of the news with all their crap just to get their name in the paper, because I just called their bluff.
E.T. reached out to Carol, who said they stand by their offer with one major cap.
I just called their bluff. Yep, couldn't remember. Yeah, that was earlier. Sorry, guys, that was off topic, but we were talking about the fucking guy from Baywatch, David Hasselhoff.
Quote, I wouldn't seek a reduced sentence for Joe based upon him just saying he'd help. He'd have to actually work with authorities to bring all of his buddies to justice and work with legislators to end cub handling.
Oh, wait, you want him to be a rat, Carol Baskin? Wait a minute, bitch. You want him to be a rat? You didn't say that shit. You didn't say you wanted to fucking make Tiger King a rat. That's some horse shit right there. You don't be fucking making him be like going out there and losing all his street cred because he's a fucking rat. You want him to sell out all his exotic Tiger King buddies? That's some horse shit, Carol Baskin. Horse shit now.
Through this, because my health is deteriorating by the day, we're going to turn this into something good. I stand for prison and justice reform.
Joe has been behind bars for 2.5 years so far.
Yeah, I think we all stand for prison and justice reform. I think that we all know that, especially with the conversations we've had on this show, that a lot of that shit is just punishment and it's not rehabilitation, and you're not helping people. You're not helping people. You just make it worse. And then when they get out of prison, they're more likely to go back to prison because they can't do anything. They can't get a real job. They can't get a real job. Not if you have a felony against you. God forbid you're a 19-year-old who makes a fucking mistake and maybe you succumb to peer pressure and now you got this felony over your head and you can't even get a job at fucking Walmart. Sucks for you, right? Sucks to suck, huh? Yeah, you made a mistake and now you got to fucking spend the rest of your life selling drugs because there's no other way for you to actually make money. Kind of sucks. So yeah, prison reform, yeah, definitely one of those top things that need to be fucking figured out.
And claims the prison system is not adequately addressing medical issues.
I don't think it adequately addresses anything.
Pounds, and I have to get blood infusions, supposed to every 4 weeks, and I've only been getting about every 3 months. I have hemoglobin anemia. They used to take me downtown to the cancer center for treatment, but we stopped doing that. I refused treatment for tuberculosis last week. My mouth is full of ulcers. I cannot eat. I look back.
Despite all that, Joe says his husband of 3 years, Dylan Passage, is sticking by his side. Despite putting out a statement 3 weeks ago, they were seeking a divorce.
The guy has been through hell, and he has stood by my side the entire time. We were talking about a divorce a few weeks ago, so he could move on, and we talked about it some more, and then we decided to stay married. He has told me over and over, if I make it out of here alive, I still have a home to come to. I am done. You're done. I'm done.
By the way, this Tiger King saga is being turned into a limited series by NBC. Now, SNL star Kate McKinnon will play Carol Baskin, and we just learned John Cameron Mitchell, who won a Tony for Hedwig and The Angry Inch, will play Joe Exotic.
Nice.
And don't forget, CBS also has a Tiger King project in the works for Amazon that will star Nicolas Cage
I love
as Joe
it.
Exotic.
I love it.
Well, that's corny. Oh, shut up now.
Have you ever wished
Please
for a
stop.
superpower?
There we go. Yeah, so the Tiger King may be getting out. So that's exciting for everybody, I guess. But it's not very exciting for me. I don't really give two shits about it. I just thought it would be a fun story to cover, but it's not really. I'm not really interested in it if I'm being honest about it. I never got into the Tiger King, so it wasn't really. It just looked like something people were talking about, so I wanted to throw it up there just in case. So I didn't miss out too much. But anyway, guys, this was a fun episode. Thank you, Barry Jones, for coming on into the chat and enjoying yourself with us. Barry said, great show. Glad I was able to be here live. I'm glad you were able to be here live as well. Laura said, I'm surprised you can even move after seeing that video of your run. I felt so bad for you. It looked hot. Yeah, it was super hot. I mean, it was 95 degrees. But I decided that I had to do it. I just had to, man. I couldn't. I didn't want to be lazy today. I did not want to be lazy today. I wanted to make sure that I finished it, so I finished strong. Laura, that cup has so many dents in it. Did you do 10 sticks on the cup? No. It just, is it this one or this one? If this one has dents in it, then I don't really know. But this one right here, I just have it everywhere. And yeah, it's got dents all over it. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just rough with my shit. Here's a surprise. I break stuff all the time. I was gonna say shit, but I try to be, try to watch my language, because the language police are out there. But yeah, I use that water all the time, and I keep my cold water in it. So yeah, it's just it just gets bumped up all the time. That's just part of it. But I'm not mad about it. Anyway, guys, we're gonna finish up our show here. I love you. I had a blast. This was a fun episode, very fun episode. We had some fun talking some shit, and I'm glad that we were able to. I'm glad that we were able to make it and we were able to get through this. I'll see you guys for the tomorrow episode. Tomorrow's episode is going to be a little bit later. We'll probably start at about 8 or 9. And we'll see how everything goes from that. And that's going to be a fun episode. That'll be our Friday Hang Loose. So if you guys got anything you want to talk about, we can do an AMA. We can do anytime. Barry, we're going to be close to 8-ish, 9-ish tomorrow. A little bit later tomorrow because I got to spend some time working. I got a lot of catching up that I need to do with my my available cash that I have for me. So I gotta up my available cash that I have. So yeah, we'll be a little bit later tomorrow. Love you too, Laura. Sorry I missed it. Work got in the way. No worries. We always have our replays that you can always see, which is always there. But I appreciate that. I'm getting back into my walks. So seeing you push through, I am trying, and was out at 7 a.m. this morning. I know I've been seeing your walks, and I think that's one of the best things that you can do. And that's one of the best things you can do is get up and just go for a walk. Just go for a walk. Like, I'm doing my runs, but that's like wrestling shit. Mainly, just walk, guys. Just walk. Walking, a 30-minute walk every day is going to be such a positive thing for you. Such a positive thing for you. So anyway, guys, I hope you all have a great night. I love you. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Bye-bye.